What's up, guys? How's it going? Happy Thursday. I actually thought I had my monthly membership office hours tonight, and I realized they're tomorrow. So I thought I'd jump on and talk to you guys about what I ate and how I ate over 2,300 calories on Monday. Welcome, my name's Amanda. I'm a registered dietitian with a passion for health and wellness and a passion for helping women realize you don't have to eat 700 calories to be successful. So if you've been watching my stories this past week, you know, yesterday I got the email to end all emails, and it literally sent me over the edge when one of my clients who's been crushing it in my 5-day preview went to her doctor and she said she was eating 1,400 calories, which in my mind is still quite low. And he basically scolded her and said, you're going to need to eat at least half of that in order to see weight loss. So implying that she needed to eat 700 calories in order to see weight loss. Basically, trying to sell her a, I guess, very popular weight loss system right now. I guess I didn't realize how popular it was until you guys have blown up my inbox over it. And she emailed me and was like, now I'm confused, you know? And I feel that for you guys. It's probably one of the most frustrating things as a registered dietitian that I've dealt with over the last 20 years is just all the noise in the space about weight loss. You know, here I am telling you that I eat 2,300 calories, and we're going to talk about that. But you may come to my program and I may calculate your macros at 1,800 calories, 2,000 calories, 2,200 calories, and that's a deficit. And then you go to your doctor and he tells you to eat 700. So who do you believe? Who do you believe? Well, believe me, always. So anyway, that may be a whole nother story, but I wanted to address your questions around my Monday macros. So I posted my macros on Monday. Jump in my stories. I just posted them again to remind you. And I like to be very transparent with you guys. I'm on the same journey as you are. I don't ask you to do things that I'm not doing myself. I like to practice what I preach. And there is a concept called a refuel day that we use in the Lean program, that we use in the monthly membership. And it's this concept of you're gonna be hungrier some days than others. And instead of, again, making yourself miserable, eat, okay? Eat. That's what a refeed day is. And I had a couple of questions about a refeed day, and that's how I was on Monday. So let me just kind of set the scene. So Saturday and Sunday, I think at the end of the day, I ended up under eating. Okay. I was maybe drinking more cocktails, didn't quite have as much protein, probably didn't hit my protein. My food choices were probably not as great. And so Monday, you know, I wake up and I'm starving. Like my body needs micronutrients, vitamins and minerals. That's what it's asking for. And my body needs macronutrients. And so typically on a day that I'm logging, that I'm, you know, dialing it in, I am at 1,800 calories. All right. And that's hard for me, you know, when I'm working in, you know, the 5-day preview, and you guys don't eat. Like you're eating like 900 calories, 1,000 calories, 1,100 calories. Even though we give you, you know, 1,800 calories, you're only eating like 1,100 calories, and I don't get it. And this is the deal. I do get it, okay? Because this is what I think happens. Number one, when you switch to whole food nutrition, you don't know what to eat. You're paralyzed, you know, you think you can't eat anything. In addition, whole food nutrition creates much less macros. You know, you can eat a lot of broccoli for very little calories, you know? So I think that's the issue initially. And then, you know, so my deficit is 1,800 calories. Like, you know, I'm definitely eating all the food. But on Monday, I woke up and I was hungry. And my theory is that you eat whole foods, until you're full and satisfied. That's a really hard principle that we teach in the lean program. I may give you 1,800 calories. You hit your protein and you eat until you're full and satisfied. That may be 1,000 calories. That may be 1,500 calories. The goal, 80% of the time, is to not go over your caloric needs, okay? 20% of the time, you may go over. A couple of times, you're going to need refeed days, okay? So that's really the goal. I hate to use the word intuitive because that little, culture gets real pissed off when people that log macros talk about intuitive eating. But guess what? It is intuitive eating, okay? You eat until you're full and satisfied. So that is basically how we do that macro approach, okay? Monday, starving. So I'm going to eat all day long until I'm full and satisfied. And I was full and satisfied at over 2,300 calories. All right. I'll remind you what my macros were. I had 2,300 calories. I had 98 grams of fat. I had 211 grams of carbs, and I had 199 grams of protein. That's what crushed y'all. Okay. So the number one question that I got from that box was, what the heck did you eat? How did you get 200 grams of protein? So let me go through my day and tell you what I ate. Because again, that's the thing is when you're hungry, it's not an excuse to go eat Cheetos. It's not an excuse to go eat Oreos and ice cream to address your hunger. The goal is to eat as much whole foods as possible. I was craving sugar, but I ate a lot of fruit, okay? And anytime that I'm eating, I'm always going to incorporate protein, okay? Anytime, like for example, when you eat an apple, the glucose response is much greater when you eat a plain apple. But if you put peanut butter with it, the glucose response is less. So while I know that caloric management is important, I know that protein optimization is important, I also know that blood sugar regulation is important. All right, so just because I've hit my protein goal doesn't mean I'm going to stop eating protein with foods that I know would benefit adding protein to. So that's how I got to 200 grams of protein. So I started out my day with chicken salad, okay? And this is probably the one thing that got me in the most trouble. Here's the thing about chicken salad. All right, it had 40 grams of protein, but it also had 40 grams of fat. I want to mention that 98 grams of fat that I ate on Monday was equal to 900 calories, almost 900 calories. It's like 882 calories. 900 calories. Remember, 1 gram of fat has 9 calories. 1 gram of carb, 1 gram of protein has 4 calories. So anytime that you find your fat to be kind of out of control, your calories to be out of control, look at your fat intake. And if you think about it, 2,300 calories, had I just dropped that chicken salad, that 40 grams of fat, I would have been at about 1,900 calories. So typically it's one thing, okay? And I'm going to go through everything I ate because I ate a lot of shit, all right? And ultimately, it's the chicken salad that put me over, okay? A lot of times nuts will be a real bad culprit. Eggs, I love eggs, eat the heck out of eggs. They're superfood, choline, all the things, but they are high in fat. And I think I don't eat eggs and think, ooh, these are so fatty, but eggs are high in fat. Obviously avocados, salmon is high in fat. I have a client in the 5-day preview that was, eating salmon and avocado every day. And she was like over her calories. And I was like, it's your fat that's getting you. Okay. So chicken salad first, 40 grams of protein. And I had a protein shake. I typically drink a protein shake every day. It has 30 grams of protein. So there's another 30. So right off the bat, breakfast, lunch and snack, I was at 70 grams of protein. My protein needs are 120 to 130. So that's good. The thing that I ate that was the most unideal was I had a ChickfilA sandwich. Okay. There was old ChickfilA sandwich sitting in my refrigerator. And I was hungry. I knew it was a good source of protein. It's not super macro. The macros are not bad for it. So it had 29 grams of protein, 17 grams of fat. So I ate that kind of like as a snack, kind of as a pass through. I also had a cup of granola. Okay, I love granola. It will make you fart, like it will run your husband out of the room, so be careful. That is my PSA for the granola. You may want to take some digestive enzymes with it, but 1 cup of the granola has 24 grams of protein, and it only has, for a half a cup, it only has 4 carbs. So the granola is like my cereal. Okay, it's low carb. It's the reason why you fart so much is because it's got 14 grams of fiber. So when I eat a cup, it's got 28 grams of fiber. People are always like, how do you get so much fiber? My fiber boost, my granola, and then tons of fruits and vegetables. So I had this with some almond milk, and that was another snack that I had. Again, I'm like, okay, this will fill me up. Fiber, protein, okay, still not full. Then I had some cottage cheese and grapefruit. So I had some sliced grapefruit. I try not to eat fruit by itself. I try to always incorporate it with a fat or a protein. So I had some cottage cheese. So I mixed that up. So there's another 20 grams of protein. So 70 grams with my chicken salad and my protein shake. My ChickfilA sandwich had 30 grams. My granola had 24 grams. My cottage cheese had 20 grams. So that's really where I got the 200 grams of protein right there. Like, I wasn't like, gnawing on steak or, beef, I mean, really, it's a pretty, simple way to get 200 grams of protein. In addition to all of that, I had the watermelon, I had grapefruit, I had a 100-calorie popcorn pack, and I had some pork rinds, okay? So all of that together, that's what I ate for the whole day, okay? So that was question number 1. What the heck did you eat, okay? So again, I just want to reiterate that the high-fat options that I chose, the chicken salad had 40 grams of fat, the Chick-fil-A had 17 grams of fat, the granola had 12 grams of fat, I'm sure the pork rinds had some fat. That 98 grams of fat is really what contributed to me having such a high caloric load. Okay, so let's talk about questions. Is 93 grams of protein over your goal counterproductive? Yes, okay. This was not an ideal day. I don't know if people felt like I was intentionally eating this way, like I'm going to eat this way every day. No, I was hungry. I ate to fuel myself as much as I felt like I needed. And ultimately, because I did that, I was fine on Tuesday. I was fine on Wednesday. I was fine on Thursday. I was able to manage that excess hunger in one failed day. Okay. Now, had I kind of powered through, which we all do sometimes, you're definitely powering through. If you're eating 700 calories a day, you're powering through every day. But if I was to power through, then potentially that increased hunger would fall into Tuesday. Okay. And maybe I power through Tuesday and that increased hunger falls into Wednesday. And then Wednesday comes around and we're celebrating a birthday at the office and there's cake and cookies and pies. And I just unravel because I'm starving. Okay. Whereas on Monday, I dealt with the hunger with whole foods. Okay. With fruits, with vegetables. Cause like with my chicken salad, I had like red peppers and I had cucumber slices. So, with all of this stuff, there was other things involved, like, lettuce and stuff like that. But addressing it with as many whole foods as possible allowed me to manage it before it got bad, okay, before it went south. So no, 93 grams of protein over your goal is not ideal, all right, not ideal. Okay, let's see here. What the hell did you eat? How did you get that much protein? I can barely get 100 grams of protein. When I eat mainly protein with little carbs, I crave carbs. Does that go away? How soon? No, it probably doesn't go away. Your body needs some carbohydrates. I mean, I think it's really hard for most people to live a full-time keto lifestyle, a full-time low-carb lifestyle, and be successful. That's why I love the strategy of carb cycling, where you get the benefit of a couple of low carb days a week, and offset it with and I hate to say high carb because I do not promote a high carb diet. I promote a carb adequate diet. My carbs on I call it a regular carb day, are about 180 to 190 carbs a day. Like that's what I aim for most days. Okay. So, I do think sugar, craving sugar is different than kind of craving carbs. And I do think that, the more sugar you eat, the more you crave it, the more you want it. And I think after a couple of days, when you do cut back carbs, not like ridiculously, that does get better. That does manage it better. But here's what I want to say about sugar, okay? If you're craving sugar and you're avoiding fruit, and then you go and eat a bag of M&Ms, you are missing the point, okay? Because here's the deal. I work with Jennifer. She's one of my one-on-one clients. Maybe she's on here. I don't know. And when we started out, she's like, I just crave sugar, I'll do good for 3 days and then I'm in a bag of M&Ms or I'm in a bag of, sweet tarts or whatever. And I said, well, okay, so why don't you eat fruit? Well, and she says, well, fruit's bad for you. Fruit's high in carbs. It's high in sugar. And I'm like, well, so are Skittles. Okay. So I always say when you have excessive sugar cravings, your body is not necessarily asking for sugar. In most cases, your body is asking for micronutrients, vitamins, and minerals. I will say this over and over. We are a country that is overfed and undernourished, okay? You can go to the hospital and be obese and malnourished, all right? That's the deal. Like, you don't have to be starving to be malnourished. And so I think that a lot of times those sugar cravings are your body asking for micronutrients. And I know that, okay? So when I was craving sugar, I was eating watermelon, I was eating grapefruit, I will eat an apple. Berries are one of my favorite fruits because they're lowest in the glycemic index, they're highest in fiber. So if you find yourself always craving sugar every third day, and you're always avoiding fruit, stop. Okay, maybe 1 or 2 pieces of fruit a day will help offset a bag of Skittles, a bowl of ice cream. Okay, so think about that. So that's the question there. What did you eat? What is the number one thing to do to get back on track first thing the next day? Okay, so here's the deal. I didn't feel bad about what I did on Monday. And I think once you get out of the mindset of you're eating for weight loss and you get into the mindset of I'm eating to nourish my body, I'm eating to feel my best, I'm eating to have more energy, that's the number one thing that I'm seeing in my 5-day preview clients right now. Literally at least 50% of clients last night reported, I have more energy. I have more energy. I have more energy. Guess what? When you have more energy, you feel better. When you feel better, you do better. When you do better, you look better. It's a spiral, okay? When you solely base your nutrition on what you see on the scale, you'll fail 100%, okay? So it's not until you're able to make that mindset shift that you are nourishing your body based on what it needs any day of the week that you will eventually break the yo-yo cycle and eventually make results, okay? So when I read this question, what is the number one thing to get back on track the next day? In my mind, I think this person potentially is going to beat themselves up for overeating, for making those choices. So number one, I'm not mad about Monday, okay? I knew that I needed Monday. I knew I needed to refuel. I knew I needed those food choices in order to prevent eating like an asshole later in the week. So when I woke up on Tuesday, there was no thought in my mind of, okay, how am I going to offset that extra 500 calories that I ate? How am I going to offset that extra, 80 grams of protein? No, I just woke up and restarted my day. And guess what? I was able to eat with much more managed hunger. So whenever I talk about back on track, I always say tell my clients, I was like, when you're off track, like let's say you go on vacation, okay? You go on vacation for 4 days. What you do on 4 days is not what you do every day. Okay. You are not drinking margaritas all day, and you are not eating chips and salsa, and you're not sitting by the pool and at the beach and drinking White Claws and, eating out every meal. Like, that's not your lifestyle. Okay. So when you come back from vacation, instead of saying, how am I going to punish myself for all the fun I had? Because hopefully you had a lot of fun. It's more about getting back. For me, I'm like, I feel like shit. I get back from vacation. I'm like bloated, constipated, tired, and I'm like, man, I can't wait to eat a salad twice tomorrow. I can't wait to do some fasting. I can't wait to get back to drinking my water. So again, when you focus less on weight loss and you focus on the daily habits that you need to do consistently, it's not a chore to get back on track. So for me, I didn't do anything different on Tuesday. I woke up, I prioritized my protein. I drank a crap ton of electrolyte water. I got a workout in. I fasted for at least 12 hours. And I stayed within my caloric goal. Okay. So stayed within 1,800 calories. The next question, will low protein affect weight loss? I work out 4 days a week and keeping calories at 14 or below. Okay. So, if you're like 5'2", 1,400 calories is probably okay. I think if you're working out 4 days a week, 1,400 calories, I don't know, sounds a little low to me, but I don't know her background, so I can't talk about the calories. But will low protein impact weight loss? 100%. Okay. Like the biggest thing I'm going to teach you in my lean program is you got to hit your protein goal. You have to optimize that bottom number. And it's interesting because, I had a gal do the 5-day preview, and she said, because of you, I follow Dr. Hyman and I listen to him, and he advocates protein as like a condiment, like a kind of a low protein diet. And I was like, yeah, he does. But if you really hear his message and you start hearing him talk about percentages, he says 20% protein. So it's all relative. Okay. If you're eating 2,000 calories, and your protein goal is the bare minimum, which is 20%, have my cheat goal here, you need 100 grams of protein. And that's the bare minimum, okay, for weight loss. So it's relative. I'm not promoting a high protein diet. It feels like that because we are chronically under eating protein, for sure. I would have thought your protein macro would be more than 106. Okay, so I don't know what it looked like when I showed, but my protein goal is between 120 and 130. What did you eat? How do I know if I need to decrease calories or increase calories to lose weight? Okay, this is a great question, okay? So in my lean program, I start my clients at the highest caloric deficit possible, and it freaks them out. It freaks them out, okay? That's why I was showing you guys when this girl was telling me that her doctor told her to eat 700 calories. I was like, well, let me show you that I have clients eating 2,000 calories and 1,900 calories and 1,800 calories and 2,200 calories, and feeling amazing and losing weight, all the things. And so I'm always going to start you at the highest caloric value, okay? So number one, the number one mistake that people make with macro management, and that's why, you join lean so I can support you and so you don't make these stupid mistakes, is you change your macros, you change your calories before you need to, period. All right. So if you're losing weight at 2,000 calories, why would you change it? Why? I don't know. And that's the thing is like when you're using other tracking apps like MyFitnessPal or Lose It, you want to update your weight every week. And every time you update your weight, what does it do? It recalculates your macros. So why would you eat less when you're losing at a higher level? Biggest mistake. So how do I know when to change my macros? You never change your macros unless you hit a plateau, okay? And a plateau is no weight loss for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. In my mind, a plateau is you are on track 80 to 90% of the time, and you do not see any movement in your inches, in your weight, or your body composition for 4 consecutive weeks, okay? Only at that point will we then make changes, okay? And the nice thing about starting you at the highest caloric value is that I have so much room. I have so many places to go. You know, I have so many clients, and I'd love for you to comment or post on the replay that have done the lean program. We set their macros and they've never changed. Okay. They've lost 30, 40, 50 pounds and we've never adjusted their calories. Okay. Cause I see it all the time. All right. So biggest mistake is adjusting your calories when you shouldn't. So you should only be adjusting your calories when you're not seeing progress. Okay. So that's kind of like a short answer to that. You would increase your calories if you have to reverse diet. And that's a whole nother topic, but reverse dieting is key. You know, it is the missing link to long-term success. You cannot live in a caloric deficit forever. You have to take diet breaks throughout the year. These are big things that we focus on in the monthly membership. You know, if you're grinding it out at 1,200 calories and you're not losing weight, it's time to take a diet break. And a diet break is where you slowly increase your calories without gaining weight. Okay. I have a great example of a client that started with me in January, eating 1,200 calories, walking 20,000 steps a day, doing a Peloton spin class, an hour spin class a day, trying to lose 10 more pounds. And she reached out to me to work one-on-one. And I said, well, I'm not going to work with you unless you'll reverse diet, because I'm not going to encourage you to eat 1,100 calories. I can't get you to exercise more. I mean, holy shit. You know, most likely you're under eating and over exercising. And so she bought into it. And so for the next 6 months, we were able to build her calories up to 1,800. She went from eating 1,200 calories to 1,800 calories. Didn't gain a pound, stayed right within her range, exercised less, and did more strength training. So then at that point, then once we build your calories back up, we're able to put you back in a deficit. Okay. So that's the key to reverse dieting, is eating more without weight gain. You got to do it. Okay. So that's a whole nother topic. Were you PMSing? Do you talk a lot about that in your lean program? So like TMI, I have an IUD, so I don't have a cycle. I know that's like a whole nother topic. But I do feel like I do get spells of PMSing. I can kind of feel that throughout the month. In this scenario, that overeating on Monday, or the need to eat more on Monday, was because I underate and drank and kind of made discretionary choices on the weekends. Someone says, no question, just appreciate you being real. Yeah, I mean, I think it's important for you guys to realize nobody's perfect, and you don't have to be perfect, you know? You have to listen to your body, and you have to know how to, you know, address its needs in a healthy way. Okay. Now, like I said, there are many times that I don't do so good. I'm showing you my good day. I overate, you know, not the day I ate a gallon of graters, because that happens too. How often does this happen for you? Were you this hungry? If so, is it okay to follow the cues? I would say that I need a refuel day, I would say 2 to 3 times a month. Again, it usually is response to just, you know, kind of poor choices, but sometimes it's a response to training. You know, a lot of times people will incorporate strength training, exercise, and, you know, it makes you hungry. It makes you hungrier. You know, your body's building muscle. So listen to it. You know, it's not a bad thing to, you know, eat a little extra protein, extra carbohydrates when you're incorporating more strength training. Your body needs, I'm trying to get my cord to plug in my phone, carbohydrates to build muscle. It needs a lot of protein. And I think a lot of times people are just hungry. You know, that's the other thing that I'm hearing kind of left and right in the 5-day preview. Like, I'm so full and satisfied. I'm so full and satisfied. And here's the thing. When you give your body what it needs, you're not going to have those hunger cues, okay? And a lot of times it's asking for micronutrients. I mean, yes, it's asking for macronutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. But a lot of times it's asking for micronutrients too. How did you get that protein? This would totally stress me out. So someone said, this would totally stress me out. Right. Because you most likely are eating for weight loss. Okay. So when you have a day that puts you 500 calories over, you feel like you've blown it, like you've lost all your progress. And this is something else that I like to mention. You know, caloric intake is an average of your week, okay? I mean, 350 calories equals a pound of fat. If you're under 100 calories one day and you're over 100 calories one day, then, you're still in that caloric deficit. So that's kind of a strategy I don't talk a lot about, but it's something to consider and I mention that because I'll often see clients go over their calories by like 100 grams, 50 grams, and 50 calories, 100 calories. And they're like beating themselves up. Like, oh, I suck today. I got too many calories, worst day ever. And I'm like, boo, that's good. You did good. Okay. 50 calories over, it's not bad. 100 calories over, it's insignificant, in the big picture. So, 500 calories is pushing it. Okay. If I say, and I also love, because people would be like, oh, I ate like an asshole today, and they ate like an extra 100 calories. I'm like, girl, you don't know what eating like an asshole is, okay? If you ever hear me say I ate like an asshole, I guarantee you I ate at least an extra 1,000 calories, okay? That's an asshole, not 500, all right? Wow, so someone said, wow, I'd be 500 pounds. I have a lot to learn, okay? Well, again, now, I will say that my maintenance calories are probably 2,200 to 2,300 calories, okay? I could probably get away with, because I have a healthy metabolism, I have a lot of lean muscle mass, I stay active, I eat whole food nutrition, I prioritize protein. So I feel like I am metabolically flexible. I can go from 1,800 to 2,300 and not gain 5 pounds, Some people can't do that because they're not medically flexible, mainly because you're starving yourself and you have no lean muscle mass, okay? Again, if you have a program that's telling you to eat 700 calories and not exercise, that's problematic. So yeah, this is not something that we would do every day. I've learned I'm under eating. If I met my protein, am I good? Or do I need to hit my other calories? So that is the strategy that I teach. Hit your protein goal. Make sure it's set correctly. Hit your protein goal. And then everything else is about managing your caloric intake, So that's the frustrating thing about macros. Your macros are never perfect. And I actually have been taking a bunch of screenshots of macros and feedback where people are like, my fat's too high, I did horrible. My calories are too low, I did horrible. This, that, I did horrible. And I'm going to use those to kind of teach you guys, okay? Because this is what I'll tell them. I'm like, no, you didn't, boo. Your fat's high, but you stayed under your calories. So it's okay. Okay, your macros are never going to be perfect. You're never going to get the exact amount of carbs, the exact amount of fats, the exact amount of proteins. They're going to be over and under. Being over is not bad if you're within your caloric range, okay? And this is the macro that I teach. It's more of that kind of range mentality. What do you do when you're still hungry and have a ton of carbs left, but only enough calories for dinner? Well, you add more calories. You add more calories. Here's the deal. When people ask me about kind of like, oh, I'm hungry, but I only have carbs left. What do I eat? Fruit, okay? Fruit has no fat. It's all carbs. So if you're sitting on 75 extra grams of carbs and you're hungry at the end of the night, grab an apple, grab some grapefruit, grab an orange, all right? It'll fill your calories appropriately and it won't mess with your other macros because it doesn't have protein, it doesn't have fat. So just an example. How does this fit with maintenance or reverse dieting? Intimidated by reverse dieting. Well, this doesn't fit. This is a refuel day. Okay. So again, just recognizing that your hunger cues are going to be more a couple of days a month and listen to them. Fuel your body with whole food. I have a headache today. Is that because of less carbs? I definitely think headaches can be due to changes in your diet. Electrolytes are super powerful. I'm a huge proponent of electrolyte water. These are my kind of go-to that I use every day. I love this electrolyte balance because it optimizes my magnesium. And then I love the flavor of the Ultima. Apparently the grape is It's very exclusive right now. It's very expensive. Everybody's buying it out, and so there's none available. Someone says nothing except I hope you enjoyed every bite. Back on track tomorrow. And I think that's key. The other thing that I want you guys to consider as you're consuming, especially discretionary food. For example, I had a gal in the 5-day preview say, I went over my calories today because a coworker brought me a Frappuccino. And I didn't want to tell her no, I didn't want to be rude. And I get that, guys, okay? But I want to introduce you to this concept, okay? Because I had a really hard time with food waste for the longest time until I heard someone say it like this. And the bottom line is it's like, I don't want to waste it, okay? I don't want to throw it away. So you're either going to waste it inside your body, okay, because you're going to consume it. It's not supporting your health and wellness goals. It's not in the long run going to make you feel the way you want to feel, okay? So in a sense, it is a waste, or you're going to waste it outside your body, all right? So we have to stop eating food to please others is kind of what I'm saying. And what I suggested to her, because I get it. I mean, maybe I would be like, boo, I'm trying to do better. You can't give me this shit. Throw it out. Give her $5, whatever. But if you want to be, cordial about it, which again, I agree, be gracious. I was like, take the Frappuccino, take a couple of sips, go back to your desk, let it sit there, maybe go to the bathroom, pour some, whatever you got to do, pour it out or just throw it away and say thank you, Nobody has to know that you didn't eat it. Somebody brings you a piece of cake, be like, oh my gosh, thank you, I'm going to eat this later, throw it in the trash. But that concept really helps me. So I told her, I was like, here's the deal. If you love that Frappuccino, if it was the best Frappuccino you've ever tasted and you just loved it and it satisfied and brought you joy, then it was worth it, okay? This was not a bad day. But if you drank it and you drank it only because of somebody else, or you eat it only because of somebody else, or you eat something and you're like, it's not that good, but I'm going to still finish it, don't do that, okay? Be picky. And that's how I am, I'll take a bite of, I'll be like, ooh, look at that cake. It looks really good. I'll take a bite of cake. I'm like, that ain't worth it. Throw it away. So whatever food choices you're making, make it worth it. Okay. Enjoy every single bite. If you're not enjoying every single bite, stop eating it. Okay. Stop eating it. So I did enjoy every single bite. If I'm not working out, should macros be less than someone that is? Yes and no, okay? We do, when you set up your caloric deficit, it does take into account activity, okay? So it will, if you go to like a BMR calculator, it'll say, do you exercise 3 times a week, 5 times a week, so you kind of pick your goal. So, but a lot of times I will set, people will set up their macros and say, should I be eating less because I'm not exercising? And I'm like, no, this is your deficit based on your activity level. So, I think that sometimes that's a little bit of a myth. Okay. So it just depends. There's a lot of variables that go in there. What did you eat to almost get 200 calories? It makes me think of mine. How do you make it stop? Again, if you fuel with whole food nutrition, it gets better. This is a good one. Would you increase your workout intensity to compensate for this? No, I'm not punishing myself. Okay. And again, when you look at your food intake solely for the purpose of weight loss, that's your mindset. Oh shit. How am I going to burn those extra 500 calories? I'm going to have to work out harder. I'm going to have to punish myself. No, I didn't change anything. Okay. I listened to my body. I ate what it needed. Because of that, I did better the rest of the week for sure. My caloric intake is so low using your app. I might be doing something wrong. Yeah, you're definitely doing something wrong. I'm actually going to message this person. Because unless you're 5'2", your calories should be well over 1,400, 1,500, 1,600 calories. Is it okay to eat over caloric goal as long as it's healthy foods, even if you're trying to lose weight? Yes. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys, If you're going to overeat, make it whole food nutrition. All right. Overeat on the whole food nutrition. When there's a day that you aren't hungry, what are your focus on your macros? So when I'm not hungry, I'm only focused on optimizing my protein. Okay. So for example, I will get to sometimes 11, 12, and I'm like, man, I'm not hungry. And so I'll just drink a shake. Okay. Because I know I'm not going to fast longer because protein optimization is important. I actually just listened to a study that just came out that said for muscle growth and muscle maintenance, protein optimization is greatest in the AM. Very interesting. I want to dig deeper into that and kind of learn more before I discuss it. But I recognize that you have to space out your protein. It's a must, okay? If you're eating 75% of your protein at dinner, it's going to impact your weight loss. It's going to impact your fitness goals. Okay. So spacing out it is best. So I'm not going to, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'll just keep fasting. I'm not hungry. And I used to be like that, but now that I recognize how important protein is, I don't do that. Okay. So I typically rarely ever fast over 16 hours. If I'm not hungry, I simply drink a shake. And that was what, another gal did. She ate throughout the day and she got to dinner and she's like, I just wasn't hungry, but I still needed 30 grams of protein. So she drank a shake. So that's what I'm going to prioritize if I'm just not hungry. Protein too high. Mine gets that high sometimes too. And I'm worried I'm getting too much. Yeah, I would not recommend 200 grams of protein every day is not good. It's not good for your overall health. I mean, I'm a healthy person. I have healthy kidneys. It's not going to do significant damage to be that high, once a week, but it's not ideal. Okay. Is there anything wrong with going over or do you limit the next day? So I think that we talked about that. How bad is it to go over your fats? I always go over fat. So again, it's not bad to go here. Number one, when you're focused on whole food nutrition, when your fats are in the form of avocados and nuts and seeds and oils and eggs and salmon, then if your fat is over, it's not bad as long as you stay within your calories, okay? But you can see that my fat, the fact that I had 900 calories of fat, that was not ideal. So my fat is really what bombed this day. The chicken salad is what bombed this day. So had I had a lighter choice, 40 grams of protein with something leaner, I probably would have been fine and still been able to eat all that other stuff. The chicken sandwich, the granola, the watermelon, the grapefruit, the pork rinds, the popcorn, all that stuff. So any questions? You got lots of, oh gosh, I guess there are lots of questions. It usually scrolls up when there's questions. Wonder if I'm eating too much because I'm not hungry at dinner. I doubt you're eating too much. I mean, you're probably just well fueled. I think a lot of people are hungry at dinner because they undereat at lunch. I always show my 700 calorie salad. And again, that's why I'm like, people eat 700 calories a day. I eat 700 calories at lunch. And sometimes people are like, well, 700 calories at lunch, that's a lot. Well, not really. If I ate 700 calories at lunch and I ate 700 calories at dinner, that's still only 1,400 calories. That's not a lot at all. Again, if you get a healthy choice with 200 calories, that's a snack. Okay, that's a snack. So why don't you guys, waste makes waste. I love that. Standard deviation if you're a nerd like me. Yeah. So someone says, ask your questions now that everything's moving up. What did they say? Oh, I just missed it. Protein shake 2 times a day. Okay. Yes. I'm okay with that. Okay. Again, I'm okay with it if you're using it in an appropriate way. Okay. So if I have 2 protein shakes a day, it's because of my schedule. it's because I'm not hungry. You know, it's not like I'm forcing myself to eat 2 shakes a day and 1 small meal. Like, that's not my dietary plan. You know, I use supplements for just that, to supplement my food. So I'm not a huge fan of like shake meal, you know, if that's for weight loss. But if you have a busy schedule, if you're on the go, if you're on the road, if you're traveling, and that helps optimize your protein and helps you stay full and satisfied, then absolutely, for sure. No questions. Just think you're awesome. Learned so much from you. Oh, thank you so much, Meredith. I love that. My girl, Monica. Yeah, blondes who eat. Monica, you got to dye your hair. You got to join us. How many electrolytes if I drink 100 ounces? Every single morsel of food, water that I drink has electrolytes. So I usually do at least 3 scoops of this a day, and I do at least 4 to 5 capfuls of this a day. So I'm a huge proponent of electrolytes. I think we, you know, are not getting enough sodium, potassium, and magnesium in our diet. So huge proponent of electrolytes. Learned that when I was a Weight Watcher leader years ago, waste makes waste. So thought I would share. I love that. I do love that. I think that there is this issue of food insecurity. And again, you know, I tend to spend more money on food. So I hate to see it go to waste. And so I would be the one eating the 7-day-old chicken because I didn't want to throw it out. I mean, luckily I'm still here, you know. I mean, I will eat food. I do the smell test. I'm like, smells good. People are like, how long should I keep my shredded chicken? I was like, well, they say 3 to 4 days, but I just do the smell test, you know. But I love that. I think that's good. Can you drink too much plain water? Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. You can drink too much plain water. Okay. So I recommend at least half your water be electrolytes. Drinking too much water makes you feel like shit. All right. It flushes out all of your electrolytes, your sodium, your potassium, and your magnesium. And that's why I feel like, you know, during prep week, I'm always like, got electrolyte water, get your protein, electrolyte water, get your protein, electrolyte water. And people feel so much better. And I think it's because of the electrolyte water. So I would not drink a ton of plain water for sure. And you could add like a little salt to your water, you know. I don't know how you would add potassium and magnesium, but I mean, these supplements are really Noon tabs. I don't like the Noon tabs. I think they're disgusting, but they're an easy option to find. Which also reminds me, healthy choices, we don't get overweight because of too many carrots. Yeah, no, exactly. You know, eat all the carrots you want. You're not gaining weight because of, and that's why I'm like, you're not gaining weight because you had 2 apples, you know, you're gaining weight because you had a half a gallon of ice cream. And boo, I get it. I do it too. Liquid IV packs and my water bottle. Okay. Liquid IV is the one I do not like. It's loaded with sugar. So I should mention that my electrolyte is 0. And people promote that that liquid IV left and right. And I'm like, I can't believe people are drinking this. Yes, it's like Gatorade. It's got so much sugar. So I would say no to the liquid IV. Yes. What are your favorite protein bars? So I love the One bars. They're not dairy free. They also have chicory root, which can cause some GI issues, gas, but I just think that they taste the best. I love the Gratisfied bars. She is my gal out of Richmond. They are a whole food, gluten-free, dairy-free, all the things, but they still have 12 grams of protein. You have to order them online. I also love, Quest does have a plant-based bar because I do try to avoid whey protein as much as possible. I'm not perfect. Whey protein is more inflammatory than say like a plant-based protein supplement. So yeah. Can you drink wine within your macros? Yeah, you can. But that's a whole nother video, okay? So alcohol impacts your weight loss in multiple levels, all right? I was just talking to a gal today who's like, I'm doing everything right. I can't lose weight, you know, blah, blah, blah. And one of the last things, and I was like, how's your sleep? And she's like, oh, I sleep great. And I'm like, okay, well, how many nights a week do you drink? And she said, well, I do have a glass of wine 6 nights a week. And I was like, well, your sleep sucks, okay? You think you're sleeping good, but you're not. So here's the deal with alcohol. Alcohol significantly impacts your health in a negative way. it significantly impacts your sleep. Okay, so I have an Oura ring, which I love. It gives me a sleep score. I can have 4 ounces of wine and my sleep score will be 50. It'll be horrible. I feel like I slept good. I didn't go to bed drunk, I mean, I wasn't passed out or anything, but it totally messes with your recovery. So that's how alcohol impacts you. You don't recover at night. And sleep's important, especially as we age. Women, if you're struggling with that midsection bloat and you're drinking wine every night, it's the alcohol. It's alcohol and sleep that are doing that. So, my hard line, and then metabolism, excuse me. Alcohol metabolism, it takes priority in the body. So when we drink, we lose about 4 to 6 hours of our other metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins, and fat. So when they say alcohol slows down your metabolism, it does. Unfortunately, guys, trust me, like I'm going to be drinking all sorts of margaritas this weekend, So I feel your pain, but I definitely, for me, I probably only drink once a week. And there's some weeks that I don't drink at all. And there's some weeks that I'll drink, 3 nights in a row. So I'm not perfect, but I think people are drinking more alcohol now more than ever. And I think there's a misconception that if it fits your macros, it's okay. So very bad news. You help me so much with food choices and optimizing calories. Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. Me too. I will smell and eat too. Yes, good. It's funny because there's a reels that I'm actually going to do because I have some cheese sauce in my refrigerator that's like 6 months old. And I just feel like once you rip out the paper, it's still good to go. But we'll see because I'm going to smell it. But there's one type of people that's like, my cousin, he would not eat anything 2 days before the expiration date. So if it expired in 2 days, he was throwing it away. Me, I'm a smell test girl. So, oh gosh, cancel. You just pee the water out. Yeah, the water goes straight through you. So if you're someone who drinks a lot of water and you're like, all I do is pee, it's your electrolytes. You don't have the things in your body that your body needs to retain the water, the sodium, potassium, and magnesium. How about liquid IV? I talked about that. What are the 2 brands of electrolytes you showed there? This is the it's actually in my kit. So go to my Amazon kit on my, in my bio. Can you show your water supplements again? How do you make your protein goal when you do an extended fast? You don't. So when you fast beyond 18, 20 hours, you don't hit your protein goal, which is why I'm not a fan of extended fasting as much anymore. We actually only do it once a month in the monthly membership now. We're going to be pulling back on it in the lean program, because what I've seen with people in fasting is people think fasting trumps all, and it doesn't. Okay. Protein optimization trumps all. Thoughts on Body Armor light drinks. I don't know about that one. The Aloha Bowls. Hey, Dulcie. The Aloha Bowl bars are good. That is a plant-based bar. Quest bars, yeah, I love those. The one blueberry cobbler. I'm a birthday cake girl, all in all. Louise says she loves the Gratisfied. I started a subscription. Yeah, the Gratisfied is really good. They do a fall pumpkin one, and the Gratisfied is really good. It's like almost kind of like a muffin. You can put it in the microwave. It's really good. The Hero bars from Quest are good. Ooh, I haven't tried those. What is it you said that's the bar that causes GI issue? The one bars, anything with chicory root. Do you like the RX bars? I do, but they don't have any protein in it. No, I don't like them. They taste like shit, and they don't have any protein in them. It's like rubber. Bless you. Thank you. Appreciate your knowledge. I can't wait to see you in Charlotte too. Yay, UNC. I love that. Come see me in Charlotte. When in doubt, throw it out. That's so funny. Okay, let's see here. Yay. Okay. What is considered an extended fast? Extended fast, I would say anything over 18, 20 hours. We do a 24-hour fast. That's our extended fast in the monthly membership. We also do a 36-hour fast. There are benefits to extended fasting, like autophagy, which is the most powerful thing that we get out of fasting, increases 300% between hours 24 and 36. So I'm not against fasting, extended fasting. I just think that people misuse it. It's just what I think, you know. I love the Kind bars. They're just not very high in protein. Let's see here. Yeah, you'll get this on the replay. I'll post it on my IG stories. My question looks like it was pinned. I know. On the go every day. Is it okay to start out with a protein bar? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Do what you have to do. I mean, here's the thing. I like to create consistency, okay, in my eating patterns. And sometimes I feel bad because I feel like that's boring for you guys. I'm eating Brenner every day, once a week. I'm eating tacos once a week. I'm drinking a protein shake. I love the Arbonne shakes once a day. But it is when you're able to automate and keep things consistent, it just works, okay? You don't have to think about hitting your protein goal. You know, that's my goal. I know the days that I don't drink my shake, unless I eat like this, I'm not going to hit my protein goal. So I just drink my shake, okay? It's just part of what I do. Yeah. All right, guys. Yay. I love it. Good deal. Yeah, we have a session of lean starting on Monday. So join us if you want to learn, you know, how to nourish your body, how to live your life, how to find flexibility, how to eat whole foods, how to not be starving all the time. You know, join us. I have so much to teach you. Do I log every day? I do not. I go through periods of logging. So when I'm in a deficit, I try to log to dial it in, and then I'll take a diet break. So I'm trying to dial it in. We're going to be dialing it in August and September, hopefully October in the Lean Monthly Membership, so that, you know, when the holidays roll around, we can be a little bit more flexible. So thanks, guys. Going to try to get on here once a week and at least do a topic or live Q&A. So look for me and join us. Talk to you soon. Bye.